Good morning, Mo. Good morning, Travis. Thank you very much for being with me today on Suzanne's Style Snips. I know you're both experts in your field, makeup and style, so I wanted to ask you just a couple of questions for my viewers. First, tell me a little bit about yourselves and what gives you this expertise. Were you art students? Was it a family influence?
Yeah, so I'm Travis. Basically for me it was more so, I really just had a passion for making people feel better about themselves and really looking good, and you know, how style affects myself really was influential to me. So I've been in the cosmetic industry for almost 10 years now. Before that I was working in clothing, which was fun. I used to go to Fashion Week all the time, which was a lot of fun. So for me it's really just about feeling good about yourself and really portraying who you really are.
Yeah, I'm Mo. I've been in this industry of the fashion and cosmetics for almost like 5-6 years, I would say. I was always passionate about the style, different clothes, and got to cosmetics and fragrances, as I mentioned, almost 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's great. I think it makes everybody looks great, as Travis mentioned. It's good to make people feel good about themselves by the dress that they're putting on and then the makeup that they're applying. So that's how I got into the industry.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Makes everybody feel better. I agree. So how would you take, let's say, an average looking person, because most of us are just average looking people. God's gift of beauty is actually quite rare. How would you make an average looking woman look beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really just about finding out who they really are and what's important to them. A lot of people have different insecurities about, their eyes, their lips, their cheekbones, and really kind of emphasizing them or really kind of making them softer or better for them is the way to kind of make them feel better. Because if you're addressing that issue and kind of solving that problem or dilemma for them, then they usually can come out in the end, A, buying everything, but then also really happy in the end.
As Travis mentioned, I think it's all about what they like. Just hear them out first and then see what they like to wear, what they like to try, and then you can simply start things and say, I think this will be good for you, and then they'll wear one after another and start with the makeup, and then you can go to the clothes as well and then go from there. So it comes back to make them feel better and make them feel good about themselves again.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because confidence and a sense of beauty, one's self-esteem definitely comes from the inside and emerges out. Definitely. So as a former interior designer, I know that color is one of the most difficult things that we all deal with. And you're dealing with someone's face. Now, the face is your first impression usually. How do you determine someone's color palette?
Do you want to start? I'll go first. That's okay. I think it comes back like there's some people that they come here, they're so used to their own style and what they've been wearing for such a long time that it's almost impossible to change their mind. But what we do as in the fashion industry, we always try to like make them go out of their comfort zone by not forcing them necessarily, but telling them, listen, I think this looks good on you. So if they try to like teach them it's okay to go out of your comfort zone and they're willing to try that, I think that will be a good start, and we can help them to make them feel a little bit better out of their comfort zone area. So I could say I will do that. I will start with that. As a work for this industry, we always try to like tell people to try things new, which is a new trend. So you try things new, you always stay up to fashion. That's what I think.
I agree with you, and it also makes you feel young. You know, when
Absolutely.
you do things that are a change for you, it makes you feel vibrant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. So tell me, as a woman emerges from her 20s to her 30s and transitions into a more mature woman, what are some of the definite no's that she should be careful of?
Right. So I think that as you progress in age and really kind of your own fashion, your own style, I think that it's definitely key to know that there are no rules when it comes to makeup. I think that it really just is who you truly are in your fashion, and it kind of speaks to who you are as a person. It portrays your personality and your kind of willingness to do different things. Now, if you are a more mature woman and you're still doing the same exact makeup that you did when you were, a little bit younger, then, maybe it is time for a little bit of a change. I think that as long as you're updating and upgrading your aesthetics and look and still kind of staying true to yourself, then there's really nothing wrong.
sorry.
They're
I,
fine.
I wanted to ask you about powder. You know, powder's a biggie. A lot of mature women think that if they powder their faces, they're filling in the wrinkles.
Right.
But what do you think about
That's
that?
completely wrong. So I think as long as you're using the correct powder, then it'll be fine. A lot of times with companies, they're hip to the issues of fine lines and wrinkles, or they're understanding that different pigments do different things. You definitely want to make sure that if you do have more textured skin, that you're focusing in on the hydration of your skin and the treatment of your skin first, making sure that you're also exfoliating, because exfoliating and treating your skin will actually help with that. But then also using hydrating powders. There's actually a lot of companies that have come out with powders that actually have encapsulated microhydration in there, which really help to kind of smooth the product, but then also kind of time-release hydration into your skin.
You know, that's really helpful. I want to ask you one more quick question. A lot of mature women are having plastic surgery.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm all for it. I think it's just
Yeah,
great.
right?
It's just great.
Exactly.
But tell me, how do you hide the scars successfully?
So A, get a good doctor.
Yeah.
That's A, number one. And then B, I think that as long as you have a good doctor that's doing the right surgery and doing the right incisions, really scarring is a combination of treatment, which you definitely want to make sure that you're doing the right scar correction and scar treatments from day one, but also partnering with your doctor to make sure that it's okay to put on. Because a lot of dermatologists do have very specific things that they require. But then also you want to make sure you have a good makeup. I mean, a good foundation base and concealer will make all the difference. If you're color correcting that before you put on a foundation, which a lot of brands recently have come out with a lot of color correctors in every single shade range, that also helps. But a full coverage hydrating foundation, you never want to do any kind of long wear or kind of full coverage or dehydrating foundation to be made for oily skin on a scar. You want to make sure that it's always hydrated and treated. But I think that Clarins is specifically one that has a really good one, which I think is called Extra Comfort. So that's a really good one. But then also Dermablend is known for their scar coverage.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the two of you. I'm telling you, you've got some swag going on. Yeah, you're jazzing it. You really are.
Thanks. Come and see us.
Right.
Nordstrom, Tyson Corner. Can we say that? No, we can't. Okay, I just said it. Take that part
Didn't
out.
happen.
So,
Yeah, that's fine.
Tell me, how do you keep that pop? How do you keep your own style from becoming stale? You know, you can. No, please go
Sure.
ahead.
I think it's, as I mentioned, it's all about trying things new. Don't be afraid. I've noticed, and I've seen this as a pattern. People, they stick to the same thing that they wear for over.
Hi, this is Suzanne Seeley of Suzanne Seeley Style Snips. I just want to say thank you to Mo and to Travis for joining me today and talking about fashion and makeup. They're both experts in their field. I really enjoyed talking with them, and I hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you.